Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Voting is undertaking in Haryana's 90 assembly constituencies. We are part of non-stop rolling coverage where we have 18 reporters on the ground. And this is the reason I love doing this job. When something is happening in the country, I get to be in the thick of it with all of you. Arzu Seth joining us. She's in Kida Sitapur in the Kalka constituency. Simran is in Charki Dadri, where of course Vinesh Phogat is going to be casting her vote and hoping to win. Ayush Sharma is in Faridabad. Anurag Sharma, meanwhile, is in the Khokhara village area of Kalka. Let me hop across first to Arzu. Arzu, what are people around you saying? I see long lines in Kalka.
Well, very good to see people queuing up in the line to cast their votes here in Kalka. And let me go across them to ask their issues and on what basis are they casting their votes today. Sir, क्या नाम है आपका?
धर्मेंद्र कुमार।
क्या कुछ मुद्दे हैं, लंबी लाइन देखने को मिल रही है, आप भी इंतजार कर रहे हैं, क्या कुछ मुद्दे हैं जिनको ध्यान में रख के वोट करेंगे?
नहीं, ध्यान में जो है वो तो है ही है, अभी कुछ ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, बस एक स्लो चल रही है मशीनें यहाँ पे, तब थोड़ा ज़्यादा लंबी टाइम लगी हुई है। हाँ जी।
मुद्दों की बात करें तो सर क्या कुछ मुद्दे हैं जिनको ध्यान में रख के वोट करें? पिछले 10 सालों में क्या काम हुआ है?
जी वेलकम, मेरा नाम बलवंत सिंह। मुद्दे तो बहुत है कालका के अंदर, आपको पता ही होगा, सड़क है, नाली है, पानी का है और बिजली का है, तो समस्याएं तो काफ़ी है, लेकिन ऐसा है ये तो 8 तारीख के बाद ही पता लगेगा कि कौन कहाँ पे आता है।
उम्मीद है, होपफुल है आपकी कि कालका में काम हो सकता है, कोई अच्छा लीडर?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, अगर अच्छा लीडर आता है तो काम होगा।
क्या कुछ मुद्दे हैं सर? लंबी लाइन लगी हुई देखने को मिल रही है, जो कि बहुत अच्छी बात है, वोटर्स जागरूक हैं। क्या कुछ मुद्दे हैं जिनको ध्यान में रख के वोट करेंगे?
नमस्कार मैडम, मेरा नाम प्रदीप कुमार है। मुद्दे तो यही है मैडम, मेन पानी का है, हमारा बिजली का है और सड़क वगैरह थोड़ी ठीक नहीं है। ये जो हो जाएंगे काम तो बहुत अच्छा है। जैसे
पिछले 5 सालों में क्या सड़कों पे काम नहीं हुआ या फिर क्या कुछ?
अभी पिछली बार तो कुछ भी नहीं हुआ मैडम, अब देखते हैं अब आने वाली क्या होता है यार।
तो हरियाणा के लोग बदलाव की तरफ देख रहे हैं?
बदलाव तो है ही है मैडम जी।
बिल्कुल। सर क्या नाम है आपका?
रघुवीर सिंह मैम।
सर क्या कुछ मुद्दे हैं, क्या कुछ ध्यान में रख के आज वोट कर रहे हैं?
मैम बेरोजगारी बेशुमार है, महंगाई बेशुमार है, जो सिलेंडर ना गया 500-700 रुपये का आज 1200 रुपये का मिल रहा है। ठीक है, बच्चे जो भी हैं उनकी एज बढ़ रही है, उनको कोई जॉब नहीं है। मैं यही रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ जो भी मौजूदा सरकार है वो कम से कम बच्चों को रोजगार जरूर दे।
बिल्कुल। So employment is a big issue. The road here in the Kalka is the issue. क्या नाम है सर आपका?
सुरेश कुमार।
सुरेश जी, क्या कुछ मुद्दे हैं आपके वोट करने आए हैं, क्या कुछ ध्यान में रख रहे हैं?
जो ध्यान में वही मैडम जी है, जो ध्यान में वही है अपना।
क्या ध्यान में है?
जो है ध्यान में वही है।
सड़कें अच्छी बनी है कालका की?
क्या बोल मैडम सकते हैं इस ऊपर में, क्या बोल सकते हैं हम?
अच्छा चलिए सर, पुराने रहने वाले हैं कालका के, क्या कुछ मुद्दे हैं? विकास हुआ है कालका में पिछले कुछ सालों में?
क्या करना, जो हो रहा ठीक है, हो रहा है। यहाँ रास्ते बड़े बड़े हैं, ठीक है, खड्डे बड़े हैं, सड़कों में देखो क्या करना है, सड़क पे चलना होता है।
So Rishabh, we can see old age people coming here to cast their vote, which is very motivating for the voters also to come and cast their vote.
Stay with me, I'll come back to you. Let's open this up. Simran, meanwhile, in Charki Dadri, as mentioned, Ayush is in Faridabad. Let's hop across to Charki Dadri with Vinesh Phogat has just cast her vote. Simran, you're there on the ground. Not as many long lines behind you, but what are people saying?
Well, absolutely. As you can see in the visuals behind me, there are no long queues in fact here, but there are women and the elderly in large numbers that are coming to cast their vote. At this point of time, I am being also joined by one of the elderly of the village who have come after Vinesh Phogat in fact has arrived here early in the morning to cast their vote, and later on we could see all the villagers in fact and all the people who have supported Vinesh Phogat in her journey have come up and turned up to cast their वोट। बाबा, आपने वोट डाला है, किन मुद्दों पे वोट गया है और क्या आपके हरियाणा में मुद्दे रहे हैं अभी?
हाँ, क्या बात?
किस मुद्दे को सोच के वोट डाला है?
वहाँ तो कांग्रेस का है।
हाँ जी,
कांग्रेस
जो बदलाव के क्या चाहते हैं आप?
हाँ, बस बदलाव में कैसा वहाँ है भाई,
Absolutely, as actually the people are in fact right now turning up to cast their vote. In fact, the women in large number are coming up since the morning. What we have been observing is that there are in fact isolated groups of women and elderly who are coming up at this very
okay. So you can tell over there now this is of course one polling station, one polling booth where incidentally of course Vinesh Phogat is casting her vote from. It's going to be interesting who Babita Phogat votes for. I'm sure she's going to vote for her sister at least, even though there's disagreement in politics in that family. But it's quieter there. It might pick up steam in Charki Dadri. The voter over there, remember Charki Dadri is not a place where the Congress has a fort. So Vinesh Phogat is up against it. But she's a local girl. She'll be hoping that her name and fame, very recent name and fame to boot, at the Olympics is going to be aiding her. Surely the Congress will be hoping the same. Ayush Sharma in Faridabad. Ayush ji, what is happening on the ground? क्या चर्चा चल रही है?
Well, yes, Rishabh, I'm currently in Faridabad, one of the polling stations here, and the people are coming here since 7 a.m. in the morning, and we can see there are no line as of now since the voter up count is very low. I have some elderly people from here. Ma'am, क्या नाम है आपका? आज वोट डाला है आपने, क्या कुछ मुद्दे रहे हैं वोट डालने के इस बार हरियाणा में?
बहुत अच्छा रहा है। अब जो फैसिलिटी मिलनी चाहिए वो मिली है, बहुत अच्छी तरह से मिल रही है। यही हम स्क्रिप्ट से हम लाया है
that they are getting good facilities that
Okay, Ayush, our connection with you is not stable, so I'll come back to you. Let me hop across to Khokra, in where Anurag is standing by. Anurag ji, what's the charcha on the ground?
देखिए ऋषभ, सबसे बड़ी बात, मैं इस वक्त कालका के खोखरा में हूं और मैं तस्वीरें दिखाना चाहूंगा। यहां पर लोगों की लाइन है और आपने देखा होगा कि यहां पर 7 प्रत्याशी हालांकि यहां पर हैं मौजूद, परंतु जो कड़ा मुकाबला लोगों में देखा जा रहा है वो केवल 2 ही लोगों में है। बीजेपी और कालका के जो कांग्रेस के प्रत्याशी रहे हैं वो 2 लोगों का इसमें चुनाव में यहां पर लोग जो हैं वो यहां पर वोट कास्ट करने के लिए आए हुए हैं। लोगों से जानने की कोशिश करेंगे और लोगों से बात करेंगे कि किन मुद्दों को लेकर जो है आम जनता इस बार वोट कर रही है, क्या लगता है लोगों को कि क्या विकास हुआ, क्या नहीं हुआ, क्या होने को है, ये सब बातें जानने की कोशिश करेंगे। आप बताएंगे भाई साहब कि किन मुद्दों को लेकर आप आम जनता जो है इस बार वोट डाल रही है?
विकास पे।
क्या विकास चाहते हैं आप?
विकास चाहते हैं यहाँ का, स्कूल का और अस्पताल का यहाँ कोई अभी है ही नहीं है। सड़कों का भी बुरा हाल है सर।
सुनने में ऐसा आया कि सड़क की स्थिति बहुत
ज्यादा खराब है सर।
तो क्या पिछले कुछ सालों में काम नहीं हुआ?
नहीं हुआ है, बस ऐसा ही चल रहा है सर।
ऐसा ही चल रहा है। आप बताएंगे बाबूजी, क्या
कोई विकास नहीं हुआ सर पिछले 10 साल से यहाँ पे। मतलब एक ही जो है उम्मीदवार खड़े थे वहाँ पे, 10 साल से बने हुए हैं, आज तक कोई भी चेंज यहाँ देखने को खास नहीं। मुद्दे सड़क का है, स्कूल का मुद्दा है जी, अस्पताल का भी है जी।
जिस जगह मैं खड़ा हूँ मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ये स्कूल का प्रांगण है।
हाँ जी, स्कूल का प्रांगण है।
क्या कारण है आपको ऐसा लगता है कि
यहाँ बनना चाहिए सर? यहाँ कॉलेज के लिए जाना पड़ता है चंडीगढ़, इधर चले जाते हैं सिसवा, तो यहाँ चाहिए बड़ा कॉलेज कोई है नहीं।
तो चलिए और लोगों से भी जानने की कोशिश करते हैं कि किस तरह के लोगों का और रुझान है और क्या लोगों को लगता है कि इस बार जो है वो क्या मुद्दे हैं, किन मुद्दों को लेकर जो है आम जनता इस बार वोट कर रही है?
विकास पे।
क्या विकास चाहते हैं आप?
रोड, रास्ता, स्कूल।
तो आपने देखा ऋषभ कि कहीं ना कहीं हर आदमी जो है वो यहाँ पर ये कह रहा है कि स्कूल चाहिए, सड़कें चाहिए, किसी भी तरह की, क्योंकि पिछले 10 सालों में लोगों को ऐसा लगता है कि बड़ा ढुलमुल सा रवैया रहा। बहुत लोगों से हमने बात की, बहुत लोगों का ये कहना था कि कहीं ना कहीं यहाँ पर हरियाणा के कालका को, जो ये जिस जगह में मैं कालका का एक क्षेत्र जो है ये अपने आप को सौतेला सा व्यवहार करा जाता है, यहाँ पर कोई विधायक या कोई मंत्री यहाँ पर नहीं आते हैं। इन लोगों का यहाँ तक भी कहना था कि अगर हिमाचल का बद्दी और बरोटी वाला क्षेत्र ना होता तो शायद यहाँ पर कामगारों की समस्या बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ सकती थी, परंतु फिर भी आज भी ये लोग इस उम्मीद पर हैं कि कोई ऐसा प्रत्याशी आए जो इन लोगों की सुध ले, क्योंकि बहुत लोगों की अपनी समस्याएं हैं, बहुत छोटी छोटी समस्याएं हैं जिनमें लोग जो हैं वो यहाँ पर
लोग अपने Anurag ji, it's very interesting. The reason it's interesting is because this is a Congress seat under a BJP alliance government. Okay, so when somebody tells you that, listen, I'm really pretty upset with what's happened in terms of development in my area. Is he upset with his MLA and therefore is voting BJP, or is he upset with the BJP-led government and therefore is voting Congress? Fascinating. We'll find out in exactly 3 days' time. but a very interesting battle because the Congress seat is being challenged there. The Congress wants to retain that seat because they want to get 60 plus. The BJP wants to get at least 50 plus. 46 forms the government. And for all the people telling you that this is a straight BJP Congress fight, in that constituency it might be in Kalka, but in other constituencies there are other players, and there is a collection of other players who are all going to have a percentage of the vote. And the reason that percentage of the vote is so important, because these constituencies in Haryana are decided by just a few hundred or a few thousand votes. 3,000-4,000 votes is a big deal in Haryana, huge deal in these assembly constituencies, so they are going to matter. Let me hop across to try to get you more reports from on the ground. Let's quickly listen into what other voters are saying.
कि आखिरकार इनके जेहन में क्या चल रहा है। हम आप लोग से ये नहीं पूछेंगे आप लोग किसको वोट डालने जा रहे हैं, लेकिन ये पूछेंगे कि किस आधार पर जब आप वोट डालने के लिए यहाँ पर आई हुई हैं, क्या सोच करके आई हैं, विकास के नाम पर वोट पड़ेगा या क्या?
हम चाहते हैं कि हमारे गांव का सुधार हो, सड़कें बने, हमारे लिए पानी की व्यवस्था हो, इसलिए हम वोट डालने आए हैं।
और महिलाएं जो,
हाँ जी, सारी सुविधाएं हमें चाहिए।
और जो महिलाएं घर में बैठी हैं उनके लिए क्या कहेंगे?
उनके लिए भी यही कहेंगे
कि जल्द से जल्द मतदान केंद्र पहुंचे।
हाँ जी, जल्द से जल्द मतदान के लिए पहुंचे।
क्या नाम आपका?
सदिता।
आप यहाँ वोट डाल कर आई, क्या सोच करके वोट डालने के लिए जा रही हैं?
यही चाहिए, आए हैं कि सुविधा चाहिए हमारे को सब।
जो सरकार ने यहाँ पर अस्पताल बनाए, जिस तरह की सुविधाएं और बेहतर सुविधाओं।
हाँ जी, यही चाहिए हमारे को। हॉस्पिटल भी नहीं है यहाँ, कोई भी नहीं साथ में, बस कालका जाके ही है। हाँ जी, यही चाहिए, सुविधा ही चाहिए।
महिलाओं को और क्या क्या चाहिए?
बस यही चाहिए सब।
आपका क्या नाम है?
राधा रानी।
राधा रानी, क्या कहेंगे एक महिला होकर के, महिलाओं को क्या क्या चाहिए, क्या क्या सोच करके वोट डालने आई है?
जी, यही सोच के कि भी सुधार हो, पढ़ाई के अच्छे वो इंतजाम हो, अस्पताल के अच्छे इंतजाम हो, और थोड़ी महंगाई पे कंट्रोल हो। बस।
Okay, there you heard voices coming in there from voters. What are they saying? What's the pulse? Let's educate ourselves, because otherwise we're just having gyan. Okay, remember the politicians also are watching, because they're going to have to do a feedback. They've got 3 days before the elections results are announced on the 8th. It is a close contest. It's a fascinating contest in Haryana. It's a small state, about 2 crore registered voters, but it is borders Delhi, Faridabad, where you saw a report from, where Ayush is standing by, Gurgaon, urban areas that have seen a wave of urbanization in the past 10 years. But there are also rural areas. Women vote is going to really matter in Haryana. Caste factor is back in Indian politics. So upper caste Brahmins, Jats, Dalit votes do matter. The Ahir vote, which is another part of Haryana, very near where Delhi is going to matter. It's all fascinating conversations. Naib Singh Saini there, of course, the incumbent chief minister. He's only been there for a year, but he's got a lot to prove. This is politically important for him. This is as big as it gets, the ultimate litmus test as it gets. Now, Babita Phogat, interesting voice here. Listen in. Minesh Phogat's sister, let's listen in.
कि गुरु का फर्ज तो वही है, आपने देखा होगा।
वोट डाला है, लोगों को क्या अपील करोगे आप?
मैं लोगों से यही अपील करना चाहती हूँ कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा मतदान करें और इस पर्व के अंदर बढ़ चढ़ के भाग लें, क्योंकि एक अच्छे नागरिक होने की जिम्मेदारी आप निभाएं और आने वाले समय में देश, हमारे प्रदेश की प्रगति और उन्नति के लिए अपना मतदान का प्रयोग कर अपने प्रदेश के लिए उन्नति के रास्ते पर लेके जाने के लिए।
आप स्टार कैंपेनर भी थे, आपने हरियाणा का दौरा भी किया कैंपेन करते हुए, क्या हालात लगते हैं बीजेपी के आपको, क्योंकि लोकसभा में जो प्रदर्शन था बहुत फीका देखा गया?
देखिए, लोकसभा के अंदर की अगर आप बात कर रहे हैं तो मैं मानती हूँ कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी जो लोकसभा में भी जो सीटें हारी थी वो भी अभी जीतने वाले हैं, तो आपको स्थिति स्पष्ट है। मैं इतना ही कहूंगी कि आने वाली 8 तारीख को आपको रिजल्ट दिखाई देंगे कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी की पूर्ण बहुमत की सरकार बनने जा रही है।
चरखी दादरी में क्या
हमारे साथ?
चरखी दादरी भी उन्हीं में से है, और मैंने कहा कि हम उन सीटों में से हैं जो जीतने वाले हैं, उन सीटों में से।
मैम, हरियाणा के ओके, all right, okay, Babita Phogat. Now, ladies and gentlemen, She's a gold medalist, Commonwealth Games gold medalist of 2014 in wrestling. Vinesh Phogat, of course, missed out on the bronze in the Olympics just what, 4 weeks ago. Now you've seen it. She is very vocally saying no, it's the BJP. That vocal family fight has been going on for the past 1.5 months since her sister joined the Congress party and became a contestant from Charki Dadri. Now the question, of course, is who's Babita voted for? Has she voted for her sister, voted for a party? Tough one, and politics forces you to take these tough decisions. From the voice of it, it seemed that no, she's probably voted party. Vinesh Phogat is up against it. This is not a bastion seat for the Congress. The Congress is hoping that her, fame quotient, her achievement quotient, daughter of the soil, turns that seat, and they're going to have to turn seats. They need to turn at least 10 seats from last time around to make a difference. Okay, I'm going to thank all my reporters. Let's pick up this conversation with our guests to understand what is going on. Dr. Pooja Tripathi representing the Congress party with us this morning. Shivam Chabda representing the Bharatiya Janata Party. Anmol Pawar is with us from the AAP. Sumit Peer and Madan Mohan Goyal joining us on the broadcast. Sumit, let me begin this off with you to get a pulse of what is going on. It seems different. We are seeing elections, the pulse seems to be a lot different. We got a wind of it in UP. In Haryana, is this a Narendra Modi Rahul Gandhi fight, or is it back to local politics? And that's all that matters right now.
Rishabh ji, good morning. Beautiful to be on the show on election day with you. Well, what is going to happen is, I think if you look at the caste engineering, if you look at the choice of the candidates, if you look what you were rightly saying, the caste equations which have been balanced, it's not a cult-based election. It's no longer between Rahul Gandhi and Prime Minister Modi. It's a lot of local issues. It's a lot of leaders. It's a lot of local things. But the Modi magic, the Modi aura, the Modi image always remains there.
Sumit, I'm going to interrupt you. I think Kumarji Selja is speaking. Can we hear her? Okay. We'll try to hear her in just a second. Sumit, carry on.
Okay, so the Modi magic and all remains there, but at the end of the day, it is the local dynamics of the ground which has changed. If you look at the BJP selection of the candidates, this time I think there's a lot of emphasis on the caste. A lot of new faces have been given a chance, and including Mr. Saini, who's relatively a new face. But if you see from the back end, you see Mr. Khattar is supporting. Even if you see some of the older MLAs which have not got the ticket, but they've been coming and supporting the party directly. But when I look at Congress, unfortunately, the track record is not there. Even with their alliance with the traditional Jat parties is not going to dent a lot. And keeping JJP separate is going to be a MasterCard, which will be used at the right point of time along with the independents if push comes to shove. I think BJP on its own, Rishabh ji, is what I've been stretching my neck out. 40, 45 around, 40, 42, 45. That is the number.
Same as last time you're thinking.
Yeah, it's somewhere around that they're going to make it. Then they will have JJP, then they will have independents, and there'll be a lot of people who will be ready to jump ship. They're going to make it.
Okay, but something different has happened. They have lost 5 seats this time in the Lok Sabha. There's no running away from that.
Yeah, that's right, Rishabh ji. Look, if you look at the Lok Sabha dynamics and if you look at the Vidhan Sabha dynamics, they're completely different. That is why the focus on the local leadership, the revamping of the cadre, giving new faces the chance, and balancing caste equations has been the priority. Keeping the JJP out and using them as an option, because JJP out only dents the Congress vote bank. The Congress alliance with the Jat parties, that is what it is to dent in. And that is exactly where the master stroke is. And if you look at Mr. Saini, he is relatively clean image and his caste equation is going to help. But Mr. Khattar is backing Mr. Saini like anything. That is the thing. Usually you don't see that thing. If there's a new chief minister, the old chief minister will say, "Theek hai ji, aap kar lo." But we have seen Mr. Khattar coming, convincing. He has been literally backing Mr. Saini. I think BJP has put all its might.
Okay, all right. Okay, I don't want to overplay it also, because okay, let me put Manohar Lal Khattar has a base. Okay, in Rohtak, in Karnal, he has a base there. He's won an election very recently. But has he been campaigning as the face in Haryana? The answer is no, he's not been. So either the BJP has finessed this perfectly, that they've managed to do the change of fresh faces, get out of the anti-incumbency, or they are in fact accepting that indeed we are in trouble. The current guys can't win it, so we need new fresh faces to try our best. Either of the two. If we knew the answer, we would be the Chief Minister of Haryana in 3 days. We don't. Which is why it's fascinating, because the contest is a real contest. It's as close as it gets. Let me quickly get the word in from the Congress. Dr. Pooja Tripathi, We had the same conversations. I was sitting in the same chair 5 years ago. It seemed like Bhupinder Singh Hooda would take it. He was in the lead. It should have been comfortable. Then there was, I won't say miraculous, but a stunning performance from the JJP. I don't think anybody, including Dushyant Singh Chautala, was hoping that he'll win on 9 or 10 seats, but he did. And the post-poll analysis told us that Kumarji Selja and Bhupinder Hooda did not get along. Are they getting along 5 years later?
Rishabh, good morning to you and everyone. I urge Haryana voters to come out in large numbers on the Festival of Democracy. You were there 5 years ago, you said, and I'm sure 5 years ago you must have seen this beautiful change that I witnessed just now. What Sumit ji said, that this election is on local issue. The first time Modi ji is not taking the lead. Otherwise, from local elections, state elections, national elections, it was Modi's magic. It was everywhere. Modi ji, Modi ji, Modi ji. Modi ji and Amit Shah himself went in Karnataka and Himachal elections and said कि आप candidate को मत देखिए, ये सोचिए कि आप Modi ji को वोट दे रहे हैं. So I think that's a change that we are witnessing here. 5 years before and this, that the elections are being fought on local issues, and that's why BJP is a collapsing house of cards. When you say that there are leaders have political aspirations, be it Kumari Shalja, be it Hooda, or be it Surjewala ji, and they are very vocal about their aspirations, and that's completely okay in a democratic party. As Rahul Gandhi said, we have tigers and they fight along each other, but they put up a united front, and Shalja ji has been campaigning since last 10 days very extensively in various areas. But what is Haryana voting today, Rishabh? What is Haryana? It's not about Congress versus BJP. Haryana is voting for its future. The last 10 years of misgovernance, the last 10 years of absolutely pathetic rule has pushed Haryana into the throes of unemployment, which is almost double the national average. The BJP goes on to promise the Agniveers because of the Lok Sabha election, because of the bad plain Lok Sabha election, goes on to promise Agniveers permanent employment after they retire. What does rest of the country's Agniveers have done wrong? That they are not being promised unemployment. BJP, we see 84 resignations, CM, Deputy CM, State President. There is an Anil Vij who's claiming I'll be the CM. There's an Rao Inderjit Singh claiming I'll be the CM. There's an Ramvilas Sharma who's crying on the live TV. So BJP, what they have said, and you rightly pointed out, as far as however Sumit ji wants to put it, that Khattar ji has been instrumental, he's been backing. Khattar ji has been absolutely absent from all the posters, all the campaigning. He does not even feature his photo.
Okay, I don't think the BJP wants him to feature. So I think that's stratagem. It's not incidental. But I have 2-3 quick questions, and let's try to address them quickly. Okay. Straightforward question.
Yeah.
Do you have the large percentage of the Jat vote? Why is it going to Hooda ji and not to Dushyant and the Chautalas?
Because let's see, their Lok Sabha elections was just 2 months back, Rishabh. And when we say 27% of Haryana's population comprises of Jats, and 64% of Jats backed the Congress Aam Aadmi Party alliance in Lok Sabha election, and just 9% to the JJP, Dushyant Chautala led JJP. That clearly shows it was just 2 months back. 2019, they rode on the fervor of Balakot airstrikes and nationalist sentiment. But Jats now, the treatment meted out to farmers, the absolute rubbish comments by the senior leadership on the treatment meted out to the Jat, Pahalwan, Betiyan. I've been to Haryana, I've been to villages, and there have been posters, and there have been elderly sitting on carts saying we will not let Bharatiya Janata Party or any leader.
Okay, all right. Will the Congress party back a Dalit as chief minister or a future chief minister of Haryana?
See, when it comes to Dalit, we had 4 presidents, Dalit president, be it Fulchand Mulana, Ashok Tawar.
No, chief minister. Will the Congress party want a Dalit chief minister?
Let me complete. The choice of chief minister is to be made by the members of Legislative Assembly. The legislative party members will decide and on their, elect their chief minister. Let it leave to 8th of October.
All right. We love to convince people that the MLAs decide who the chief minister is going to be. Third question, which is a more interesting one. How can a Vinesh Phogat, who's a star for this entire country, convince voters when she can't convince her own sister, Babita?
I think it's just political compulsions. I think when we come to, if I would have been in BJP, I would never have been in BJP. But when it comes to standing with Vinesh Phogat, I would have stood by her as a woman of the country. Vinesh is a face of resilience, resistance, and she is somebody who has worked against all odds, be it Sarkari violence that has been unleashed on her when she was protesting at Jantar Mantar, with everything. There was a complete systematic effort to break her down, but Vinesh emerged victorious. So as a woman, every woman of Haryana stands with Vinesh. I've been to Julana.
Okay, but Babita is also, gold medalist in the Commonwealth Games. So, she's also a daughter of the soil. In fact, from the same Charki Dadri area. Okay, all right, fair enough.
Babita,
Okay.
but when it comes to the hard times faced by Vinesh.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'm going to thank you for at least taking on the question. So now let me reverse them and put Shivam Chabda on the spot. Shivam Chabda, let's call a spade a spade. It's not looking good. Okay, I mean, you have lost 5 seats in the Lok Sabha. Those 5 seats were valuable. They did matter to you. And it's only 2 months since that. Why do you think that it's going to be different? That you're going to get that 45-50 seats which you need?
See, Rishabh, what is interesting to see is Haryana has seen a transition. Haryana saw transition from Gunda Raj to good governance. They saw the state of Haryana under the regime of Bhupendra Singh Hooda, which was full of Gunda Raj, to the regime of Manohar Khattarji, followed by Nayak Singh Saini. You need to realize the fact the people of Haryana have actually gone out, and I think they are going out and voting for a good governance model than a so-called a land mafia-led governance. They don't want their kids to get an employment by giving out money, because that is how the things have been in the past. There have been convictions of the chief ministers and the leaders of the political party on the I would say conviction on the charges of giving out jobs for money. So it is completely to the people of Haryana what they want. And I think I'm hopeful
Shivam,
Shivam,
the reality check is that you had 10 years of exactly what the BJP had asked for. Double engine sarkar, pretty comfortable majority, stable governments. Okay, 10 years of double engine sarkar. 9.5 years later, you decided that the chief minister had to change. Now, let's not assume that he got a promotion to union minister. 6 months ago, your close ally who helped you form the government left you. That's not a happy scene.
Rishabh, one, as far as the chief minister's part is concerned, we are a Bharatiya Janata Party. We are not Congress Party, where the decision making is done by only one and the only one. Probably only Gandhi family does not take a call. Okay, Bhupendra Singh Hooda ji will be the chief minister, or maybe Kumari Shailja could be the one. So ultimately, you need to realize the fact that you Bharatiya Janata Party. Second thing, Manohar Khattarji actually became a member of parliament and was elevated to become a union cabinet minister of 2 important portfolios. It is not that you basically went down probably disregarding him or maybe demeaning him anyways. He is a mass leader of Haryana. He was the eminent chief minister of Haryana for past 9 years. Now there is always a transition phase. Party feels, the current cadre feels there need to be a new face in the Haryana so that they could take it up for the next 5 years, maybe 10 years down the line. That is how it is. Nothing more than that. How do we read too much between the lines? I fail to understand. And I think as far as the allied partners you were talking about, it is completely their call. I mean, going out on a power for 4.5 years.
Okay, all right. Shivam, is there a harsh reality for the Bharatiya Janata Party that Narendra Modi bought something special to the party in 2012-2013 and didn't make a difference where the election was happening, at the city level, mayoral level, state level, forget national level? It was about the vision and something special, because Narendra Modi is even right now in a different orbit. He's in a different political league, and we all have to accept that's what it is. This is his era. But now it seems that the states are not about Narendra Modi. They are back to caste issues, local issues, and your reliance is going to have to be on state leadership. When you stop relying on Narendra Modi only willing you votes, do you have the second rung, third rung, fourth rung to deliver votes for you?
Rishabh ji, Bharatiya Janata Party is a cadre-based party. As I always say, and I am saying it again, we are not the party only of the family. We don't believe that only Gandhi family will probably run this entire private limited company just like the way we're doing right now. We are a cadre-based party. And as far as the Prime Minister Modi ji's magic is concerned, I may still remind you, the Prime Minister Modi has come back into the government for consecutively third time. It's not a joke. It's just not a joke.
No, it's not a joke. Nobody should be considering it a joke. I don't think anybody is considering a joke. I just said Narendra Modi is currently in a different orbit.
I'm saying the people of this country, people of India, people of Bharat have actually voted back Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji for the third time. This shows the kind of magic the Prime Minister Modi ji has among the people. This shows the popularity of Prime Minister Modi. And as far as the state elections,
but it also tells us that while Narendra Modi has attained a different orbit in the history of Indian politics now, in history of India, forget Indian politics, there is going to be need in second rung, third rung, fourth. And Haryana is going to be a test of that. Let me get Mr. Gulia in of the JJP.
So Rishabh, there are always second rung, third rung leadership. When Prime Minister Modi ji was basically designated to be the Prime Minister, maybe he was the Prime Ministerial candidate for the party. That time also to Rajnath ji.
Okay.
That time also.
Let me get the JJP spokesperson in. Ajay ji.
We are a cadre-based party. We don't believe.
Ajay ji, I have a straightforward question.
We are not Gandhi family-run family party.
Ajay ji, I have a straightforward question. In your heartland, which is the Jat heartland, where Dushyant is contesting from, your battle is against Bhupinder Singh Hooda. But 5 years ago, you had a choice. You had a choice between going with Mr. Hooda or going with the BJP. Why did you choose the BJP?
Let me make it very clear. We might be facing some problem going with BJP for the last 4.5 years in the last government. But I can assure you, as a party, that's a wrong choice. But for the people of Haryana, I want to assure people of Haryana that we fought for them. And during the Dushyant regime, as a 4.5 years as a deputy chief minister, every decision taken by Mr. Dushyant Chautala is in favor of people of Haryana. And every decision, people of Haryana are benefited from them. Rather, it's a direct credit to their account or 50% reservation, the roads facilities, and the way he worked the e-libraries to the villages, and the way he wanted to improve the education system, and the way he wanted the people of Haryana to grow and the people of Uchana to grow.
But did Dushyant deliver the development, or did Khattarji deliver the development?
No, it's a matter of comparison. BJP have their government in 18 states apart from Haryana. Nowhere pension, the old age pension is more than 1500. Why in Haryana 3000? If they have that feeling in their mind that old age pension should be 3000 everywhere, why in Haryana only?
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Nowhere.
I have to point out to viewers who are just joining us that the JJP did leave, and conveniently 6 months before the election, they found some cause. You can argue whether substantive cause or pretext.
I can give you the cause. I can give you the cause as well. I can give you the cause.
Yes. What was the cause? Why leave conveniently 6 months before the election? Enjoy power for 4.5 years and then walk away right before an election comes.
It's not about enjoying the power. It's all about serving the people of Haryana. And the cause is Dushyant. For the first time, I am using the word adamant. We are adamant for 5,000 pension, old age pension. And BJP was not ready to give 5,000 pension. That's why we parted our ways. The only reason we parted our ways with BJP is that we are adamant for, and we are
cynics will say that you want to have your cake and eat it too. You wanted to sit in government for 4.5 years and then for the last 6 months be the opposition, and some people will buy it, some people won't buy it. Okay, but fair enough. Let me get Anmol into this. He's been listening patiently to all of this. So now, ladies and gentlemen, the Aam Aadmi Party has decided not only to go into Haryana, but not cherry pick 1 or 2 seats, 4 or 5 seats to focus their energy. They've gone in full swoop into Haryana. Anmol Panwar, why? Why not go slow and steady, pick some areas? Because nobody is expecting you to win a few seats. So why are you playing this percentage game? Why not play to just win a few seats? Why go into so many seats?
Good morning, Rishabh-ji. The fact is that people of Haryana are frustrated by years of corruption, manipulation and deceptive politics of Bharatiya Janata Party. And they want an honest governance, an effective governance, a party who works for the welfare of the common man. And that is the reason in last 10 years, we have seen that Haryana tops in unemployment, the way crime against women are increasing, and it's not some other data, but NCRB data says that by the government of India that Haryana tops in crime against women. And we have seen how 3 new farm laws were introduced to for the benefit of the industrialists, and more than 750 farmers laid down their lives for more than 2 years. They were sitting
Okay, but
on
Anmol, none
roads,
of this is answering my question.
suffering.
My question is very straightforward. You had a choice to focus on a few seats in Haryana, okay, or to go for broke. You've decided to go into pretty much everywhere. Why? Why not just focus on a few?
Rishabh-ji, we are contesting this election with full strength for the first time, and we are confident that people will shower their love and blessings on us. That is why we contested on all the seats, because people love the Delhi model of governance, and they are raising a very pertinent question. They are asking all the political parties that if Delhi and Punjab can get basic amenities, basic necessities of life like free electricity, water, education, and healthcare, then what crime have the people of
But
Haryana
Anmol,
committed?
I have to ask you the obvious question, because the Delhi model of governance is in crisis. You can't
Not
say your
at all.
party is not in crisis. Now, it's either very audacious to go on the offensive. Many would have said that, listen, this is the time to focus. Delhi elections are coming up in less than 6 months. You should focus here. Instead, you're wasting your energy there. You had Arvind Ji is no longer chief minister. He's sitting it out. It's the party is certainly not at the highest peak.
Rishabh-ji, BJP made all efforts to crush Aam Aadmi Party. They put our leader behind bars in a false and fabricated case in which even after 2 years of investigation, nothing has come out. But you must agree with the fact that Delhi is the only state running in surplus since 2015. We have not increased taxes. We didn't take any loans, and our budget increased from 36,000 crores to 76,000 crores. And despite that, we are providing all the basic necessities of life to the people, like free electricity, water, education, healthcare, and working to strengthen, working for women empowerment as well. So people are happy with the kind of governance they are getting in Delhi, although we face some disruptions in past 6 months. But for the next coming months, Delhi will certainly see the development which they have witnessed in the last 10 years, and will win with a thumping majority this time
Okay,
as well.
all right, but then of course we don't know what happens when Delhi votes. But okay, let me ask you another very straightforward question. You were pretty keen on an alliance with the Congress. You were turned down. Why do you think that happened?
Rishabh-ji, aligning with the aspirations of people of Haryana, we certainly made efforts to forge an alliance with the Congress. But I mean, it's for the both the top leadership of Congress and Aam Aadmi Party. They had several rounds of meeting, but they didn't reach any positive outcome. So
Okay, it's a very odd situation, because 4 months ago in a Lok Sabha election, you were all together. Now you're not together in any state. It's a bit of a mess. I don't know what message we give to our voters.
We tried to forge an alliance because people didn't want BJP to return to power. People voted BJP after 36 years. It was for the first time that in 2014, just short of the majority, BJP came in power.
Okay.
But with a kind of corruption, with a kind of misgovernance they did in last 10
So
years.
will you do to the
people
Congress what
wanted
the
a
Congress
change.
did to you? Will you reject any overtures of a Congress alliance in Delhi 3-4 months from now?
I mean, it's more than 4 or 5 months left, and we are pretty confident that on our own we'll attain a thumping majority in Delhi as we have done in three
Okay,
previous
ladies and gentlemen,
elections.
the complexities of politics, the complexities of politics. We want to ally here, but we don't necessarily want to ally here. The Congress is the same. Let's face it. So is the BJP. Okay, let me get a quick interjection with Sumit. Sumit, you know, the general consensus seems to be building, and I don't know where this is coming from, but it seems to be building that this is going to be an election that Bhupinder Hooda either wins or loses.
Right.
Now, he has been a very interesting politician. He's held fort in Haryana for, decades, longer than I've been alive. Okay. Let's discuss Bhupinder Hooda. What's in it for him?
I think, Rishabhji, there are two things in it. If you look at first, the Haryana politics has been predominantly Jat dominated, though Jats are 23% of the population. A lot of people will not know that. People will think Haryana is 80-90% Jat. That is not the question. But somehow Jats have kept a tight leash on Haryana, and it's hardly the Jat chief minister which has come. But eventually, even with the Jat clans, then they became other parties. Some JJP came in, other factions started gravitating. Then the clans became bigger and bigger. Then with due course of time, these clans started aligning. Let's say Dushyant Chautala aligned with BJP. That is what he thinks is right for him. Now there are other people who are aligning with somebody else. So when this whole clan has started breaking up, there's no one single Jat leader. Now, honestly, in my opinion, why did Dushyant Chautala leave BJP? It was a masterstroke or a strategy, because if he leaves it, the maximum damage he's going to do is to Bhupinder Hooda. Because always he will have a way back to BJP if it is required, or they will have some arrangement here with him. I don't agree with my friend. It says it's only over 5,000 issue. It was a very clear-cut calculated strategy. As if you look at the Aam Aadmi Party, they went to Congress. They only asked them for 6 or 10, some small number of seats. But Congress this time was very adamant कि भाई हम कुछ भी नहीं देंगे. So Aam Aadmi made a reach out, but the Congress.
But Sumit, so what have they done? Because they could have contested 6 seats in alliance with the Congress, but they, when rejected for 6 seats, said we are going to come everywhere. Now, either that is a really audacious masterstroke, or it is complete hubris that whatever resources you had, you're diluting them. Zabardasti contests are going on, and every vote you take, you're going to take it from the Congress.
Exactly, यही तो बात है ऋषभ जी. You are not willing to give me 6 seats. 6 मांगे थे. It's like Sri Krishna going and asking for 5 villages, but Duryodhan said मैं नहीं दूंगा. Then what they say, okay, let's contest everywhere. The people whom we are going to impact is you. The people who are going to dent is you. And remember when the parliamentary elections were over, recent, just a few months back, the first announcement which came from Congress, there is no alliance with Aam. It was the Congress who announced there is no alliance with Aam. It was only up to Lok Sabha elections, and hereafter there is no alliance with Aam, and it will not continue. Though it is on record, Arvind Kejriwal and went and did the election campaigning for Kanhaiya Kumar. But Rahul Gandhi never returned the favor. ये भी है point, Rishabh ji.
Yeah, but I'm assuming he voted for Kanhaiya Kumar because or voted for the Aam Aadmi Party because the Aam Aadmi Party candidate was in his Lok Sabha constituency where he's a voter from. Okay, now hang on all of you. Let me get Mr. Madan Goyal. He's joining us. He's an academician from Gurugram. Madan ji, let me approach this from a different tack. We have seen the part of Haryana where you are residing and where you work completely transform and change. It is, I mean, when I drive through Gurugram, it's completely different, and I've been going there for now decades. But at the same time, 3 months ago when it rains, all the fancy places in Gurugram are all flooded. How is this urban area which is developed around Delhi, which is a large contributor to Haryana's state GDP, how is it actually doing, sir?
Rishabh, let me honestly tell you, I am not in Gurugram now. I am in Kurukshetra, but I have been trying to understand the entire functioning of the political parties as well as the voters. Let me classify voters as Sumit ji have been doing, that it is basically based on caste line. Even religious leaders are also playing a role. Ram Rahim is on parole, and probably he is also going to play. And so for the other voters are concerned, I divide them. Sometimes these political parties have their own voting rates, and some of the voters are over smart, some of the voters are stupid smart, some of the voters are careless, some of the voters are careless, some of the voters are useless, some of the voters are useless. So taking into account the entire scenario, it is very difficult to make a prediction which political party is going to win. I believe that's
Are you upset with voters or upset with political parties, sir? Because on a day of election, I've never seen someone bash voters so much.
Yeah, this is basically, you know, these are over smart voters. They don't utter anything. And so for my perception toward as a needonomist, I talk of economics of need, we need the political parties to be street smart, similarly as the voters. Practically, let me tell you, the voters will tell you that if that Jat politics is playing to role. Sumit ji, you were talking of they will be joining BJP. No, I believe that JJP, INLO and BSP, if they might have joined secretly, probably they can come in power.
Okay, we will find out. The interesting thing, ladies and gentlemen, is happening, and I don't subscribe to voter bashing, because there is something called, and is scientifically proven, statistically proven, the wisdom of the crowd. The larger the sample size, and this sample size is going to be about 1.5 crore people, okay? The larger the sample size, the more accurate the result is on what is the need of the hour. And that's the beauty of it. So we might, be upset about it for some reasons, but the bottom line is something special happens when elections are done at the scale that they are done in India. Let me get Sumit back in before I do a quick check, touch base with all our politicians once again. Sumit, what is the trend that we have to see here? Is this a disjointed election taking place in its own environment? Because it sort of feels like there is no theme running this time, because the Jammu and Kashmir election seems to be about Jammu and Kashmir, the Haryana election seems to be about Haryana. Haryana is a small state when it comes to the number of voters, but we have Maharashtra coming up, we have Delhi coming up. Is there some theme we can find here, or are these all become disenfranchised battles?
I think it is, the theme is, Rishabh ji, who has the track record of governance and what is the goodwill quotient and credibility you bring to the table. I can come and promise earth, sun and moon, but log dekhenge mera track record kya hai and how much can I deliver. Local issues are dominating in state elections. There's no second doing. So if you have this Modi magic and the BJP cadre in place, and you strengthen the politics and the grassroots level leaders, go as a combination. It's a double turbo engine. So double turbo engine gives you more boost. That is what BJP is exactly doing, rather than going only with the Modi magic and Modi factor. So you have got both the things right. If you have a double turbo, your torque is much higher. And now at the right point of time, doing the changes, changing the leaders, getting news faces, that is the right thing which is happening. Focus on like issues and use Modi ji's face and model as a promise of good governance. So you don't have to depend on the local leaders only. There's a Modi guarantee at the back which will ensure things are done through local leaders. That is the new mantra. That's how they are changing it now.
Okay, I'm going to ask the awkward question to Pooja ji. Pooja ji, let us assume for a second you form a government in Haryana. In exactly 3 months, you will then have to contest for Delhi. And all we've heard is that Haryana does not release water, Haryana does not pay the bills, everything that's the problem in Delhi is because of Haryana. Will that change?
Not for a second, Rishabh. I'm pretty sure, I'm very confident that we'll form a government in Haryana with 60 plus seats. And let us form a government in Haryana. Let us fight elections in Delhi, and then we'll talk of the dynamics of Delhi, Haryana state governments. But I want to tell you the central theme. You just asked this question to Sumit. I'll jump the gun and answer it. The central theme of the state election is the charisma of Modi magic is dwindling, and local issues and people's issue are taking the center stage of politics. And this is a healthy sign of democracy. From 16 rallies in 2019, Modi ji did only 4 rallies in Haryana. Only 4 rallies. And that's the central theme, and it should always be people's issue, unemployment, inflation, farmers, women's security, everything should take the center stage rather than narcissist portrayal of one single.
All right. I'll give a personal example to people watching this. You see me less on television now, okay? Now, I wouldn't want to think that because my charisma is whatever little bit I might have had is gone, is because I'm making space for others as I do other things as well. One thing, ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand, in the past 11 years now, okay, Rahul Gandhi has now done Sangharsh. he has really struggled through the worst lows of his party. So nobody can look him in the eye and say that, listen, you just inherited your post and you've not done Sangharsh. He has done Sangharsh the hard way, and to give him credit, he's still there fighting. Okay. So you have to give him that. Now, whether his charisma is replacing that, we don't know. But I'll give Shivam Chavda a chance to respond. Shivam, in a very real sense, is there something different? Because UP was a shock. Don't say it wasn't a shock. Of course it was a shock. It was a shock to you. It was a shock to almost everybody. Probably even the Congress party. I think even Akhilesh was shocked with what happened in UP. Haryana was disappointing just 3 months ago. So Maharashtra is looking a bit tough. Jammu and Kashmir, you've done a good deed for the country, but not necessarily that's going to benefit you politically. So that this 2024, the end part of it and the early part of 2025 might be tough for the party. How are you preparing for it?
India is a country of aspiration. There could be, every demand could not be fulfilled. Maybe, as far as the election is concerned, it's a very subjective kind of a thing. And we need to realize the fact that yes, we might have lost in Uttar Pradesh, we might have lost in Haryana, but when you see it collectively, it is a Lok Sabha election. Ultimately, it is about India. We have formed the government for the third term under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So we must not forget that. And I think it's a democracy, and that is how the democracy functions. Works. Yes, there have been some ground issues, maybe in Uttar Pradesh, maybe in Haryana too, but I am confident of the fact that Bharatiya Janata Party will form the government in Haryana for third time. One, the people of Haryana are sensible and sensitive enough to ensure that they want good governance, not Gundaraj of the previous regimes. They must, and I think they will certainly look out of the fact that they want a government which does not take money for jobs and get convicted and go to the jail.
All right. Okay. I'll leave.
They will not anyway vote for a government which is like during the Lok Sabha election. मैं हिंदी में बड़ी सी शानदार सी मैं एक बात बोलता हूँ कि लोकसभा चुनाव आते आते हम साथ साथ हैं और लोकसभा चुनाव जाते हैं, विधानसभा आते हैं तो हम आपके हैं कौन. तो इस प्रकार की पार्टियों के साथ
all political parties do it. I couldn't for the life of me understand the Shiv Sena Congress alliance, but I also couldn't for the life of me understand the PDP BJP alliance. All political parties do it. But yes, Anmol, there is a conundrum because obviously you do not want a BJP government to return to Haryana. Okay, you did want an alliance with the Congress. So if a Congress government gets formed in Haryana, you've got 4 months left and you're hoping you come back to power in Delhi. Then will you tell us pollution, water, traffic? What will happen? Will you still blame Haryana?
See, we just present the correct facts before the people, and it's the report of World Air Quality Index 2023 which said that more than 20 cities in our country out of the 50 are in Haryana, which are the most polluted. So,
yeah, but the smoke comes from Punjab where you are in power.
As far as Punjab is concerned, there had been a significant reduction in the farm fires, more than 36%. And it's the data of Indian Institute of Agriculture which says that. And the affidavit filed by the central government before the Honorable Supreme Court, it very categorically says that only 4% and 7% of the farm fires contribute, stubble burning to be very specific.
Okay, but given the fact that for water and other factors, Delhi depends on Haryana and you blame the Haryana government of the BJP all the time, okay? Will you also blame you're not forming a government in Haryana, you might win a seat, might win a few percentage votes, we don't know. But will you blame the Congress government as assiduously or will you hark back given the fact that you wanted an alliance with them?
Rishabhji, there had been an agreement between the 5 states, Punjab, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Delhi and the adjoining Rajasthan. It says that in case there's paucity of water in Delhi, then it is for the adjoining state to give water to Delhi first. And this was signed 35 years back. And recently we saw that Himachal Pradesh government agreed to release water to Delhi, but Haryana didn't facilitate it. So that's why they were...
Okay, all right. Okay, I need to take a break. Ladies and gentlemen, in Delhi this year, there has been a shortage of water. That's because we are told the other states are not releasing enough water. When there is too much water, we are told that the other states do not maintain the check dams and the barrages. It's never anything that we can do because Delhi is a city state and it has a half a government and really one wonders, the pollution is about to start. but elections are coming up in Delhi, so I'll leave that for another time. I take a break. We are back in a couple of minutes. Back with our reporters getting a pulse from the ground, so this studio conversation remains rooted. See you in a minute.